します。ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏、ナムマンダ仏、ナムマンダ仏。My name is Ryuta Furumoto. I'm from San Mateo Buddhist temple. San Mateo located in very, very close to the San Francisco airport. Then this is my first time visiting the Vancouver. Before I come to the Vancouver, my temple member told me Vancouver is a really nice place, very beautiful scenery, very beautiful, everything is nice. Actually, when I came here from the airplane, I saw the sceneries and the oceans and a lot of islands. It looks like my original place, Hiroshima. Hiroshima has a Seto Inland Sea. There are small islands. I reminded of it. Then I came to a little bit. Aoki Sensei showed me around, and he took me a restaurant and hamburger, nice. It's maybe same taste, but if I eat hamburger in such a nice place, the taste of hamburger became nicer. So nice. Then in front of a temple, sakura tree, beautiful, very nice. Temple, very nice. Aoki Sensei, nice. So people has to be nice. You must be very nice people. So I'm very happy to come here today. So, so you must be very nice people. So if my presentation is not so good, please not to get angry. Then the title of today's talk is Anger Management from a Jodo Shinshu perspective. Then, but basically Buddhism basically teaches us not to get angry. Basically not to get angry. But you can get angry, of course. You can show your anger, since the anger is a very natural feelings. But if you hold on to your anger and make it into be hatred, it will bring you trouble, or worse, it causes trouble not only for you, but also for others. Then, in Japanese kanji, anger is okoru or ikaru. And then this kanji is composed from 3 portions. The upper left side is onna, women. The right hand side, upper right portion is called mata, it means growing. And the bottom part is heart and mind, it means kokoro. Then there are several interpretations of the etymology, why the anger okoru right like this. There are several interpretations of the etymology of this kanji. The one of them is said to be that the feeling of anger is so strong that even a gentle lady stand up and putting her legs apart as if in preparation for fight. It's like this picture, So, but in long time ago, women are. I'm not if I don't offend you, but long time ago. But for women are supposed to sit like this, then be calm or something. Long time ago, it's not present time, So, but even such gentle lady, stand up and putting her legs apart, and then prepare to fight. And so that is an anger. So it means anger is not very good. So this lecture will help you to deal with your anger. Basically, Buddhism teaches us not to get angry. I will repeat this today several times. But sometimes we cannot avoid getting angry. Even then, we can transform that anger into positive feeling. So that is very Jodo Shinshu way. Anger to turn to the positive feeling, like turn anger into the gratitude. Then, but basically, as I said earlier, basically Buddhism's teachings do not get too angry, but if you get angry, that's okay. Not to get angry. Getting angry is not okay, but if you get angry, that's okay. Now that is a little bit confusing, but that is a message. basically not to get angry. But if you get angry, but that's okay. Not okay, but that's okay. It's very Buddhistic, expression. Like going to the hell is going to the Pure Land. That kind of ideas. Then at first, Shakyamuni Buddha's words on anger. How Shakyamuni Buddha, founder of Buddhism, Shakyamuni Buddha, what he said regarding anger. We often get angry. Do you get angry? We get angry, scolding children every morning. I have 3 kids, 7-year-old, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, the girl, boy. Every morning, when they woke up, when they eat, they fight each other every morning. My daughter wants to use a blue cup for drinking milk, and my second son, 4 years old, he also wants to use a blue cup. They always fighting to get a blue cup. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Then myself and my wife get irritated every morning. I scold them. Then like that, they were becoming irritated by a long line at the post office or grocery stores, or swearing at the drivers who cut in your lane, or cursing at 1-800 telephone numbers. I'm not sure 1-800 numbers were used here too, in Canada too. So then also upsetting. When others insult us, we upset very much. So we every day, more or less, we got angry. Then in these situations, what we as Buddhists need to do is try not to get angry. Try not to get angry. Be patient. Then Shakyamuni Buddha said, when you get angry, throw away your anger, or be quiet when you get angry. Because anger harms you and others. Like playing catch by using heated charcoal, or playing catch by using dog's poop. Dog's poop is not a good, example, but I'd like you to understand that, anger is not so good, right? So it's like heated charcoal. Once we have heated charcoal, we got burned. Then we throw it away. Then your opponent got burned. Then if it finished, that's okay. But usually it doesn't finish. If your opponent got burned, your opponent will throw it back to the charcoal and burn, or get dirty. It's not good, right? So Shakyamuni Buddha said, throw away your anger. The one, I didn't write it here, but the one famous phrase from Dhammapada, the Shakyamuni Buddha's words, the hatred never ceased by hatred. The hatred can be ceased only by compassion or forgiveness or that kind of thing. Then one example is like I heard, I'm not sure this is a true story or not, but in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country. Sri Lanka, and after the World War II, in Japan was defeated, and other many countries are kind of claiming the compensation to Japan. But only Sri Lanka, they're Buddhist countries. They said Japan is a Buddhist country too. They believe the Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching. So Sri Lanka people decided they did not ask compensation from Japan. It is from the word hatred never ceases by hatred. So Sri Lanka people did not get money, any money from Japan. They just forgave the Japan. Or maybe you know the story about the Honen Shonin's father, Master Honen. Shinran Shonin's master. When Master Honen was about maybe 15 years old or something, Master Honen Shonin's father was a kind of samurai, class. So then Honen Shonin's father was killed by his enemy. Then in those days, if the father was killed by somebody, the son can revenge. That revenge is kind of legal. if your father was killed, you can kill your father's opponent. Then at the deathbed of the Honen Shonin told his father, I will revenge for you. But his father told Honen Shonin, revenge doesn't work. Shakyamuni Buddha said, hatred never ceased by hatred. If you retaliate to the opponent, to the enemy, maybe the enemy's son will kill you. If you are killed, maybe your son will kill back your opponent's sons. Then it will never cease. It continued. It never stopped. Therefore, you stopped revenge. Then, but go to the temple to learn the Buddha's teaching. Why Shakyamuni Buddha said hatred never ceased by hatred? Then Honen Shonin decided to go to become a monk and to go to the Tendai Mount Hiei. Yeah? So maybe the one word famous phrase Shakyamuni Buddha mentioned on anger or hatred is hatred never ceased by hatred. And basically Shakyamuni Buddha's message is try not to get angry. Then other phrase is from a sutra, Udam Varga. It means words arise from Shakyamuni Buddha. There in that sutra he said, an angry man blames even a good conduct or a good person, but after his anger ceases, he will suffer as if he got burned. So as Shakyamuni said, anger makes us lose our control, then we swear at others or hit others. But after a while, next day or 2 days later or a week later, when we become calm, we regret what we have done to others, and it torments us. So Shakyamuni said, anger is not good. Then Shakyamuni Buddha continued, if you keep quiet when others get angry, you and that others will receive great benefits. So Shakyamuni Buddha's method is be quiet, But I heard, Mark Twain, the American author Mark Twain said that if you get angry, count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if your anger is too big, swear at others. But Shakyamuni Buddha, even though your anger is enormous, be quiet. This is Shakyamuni Buddha's way. But when the next page 3 is now, that when we are insulted, we want to swear at others or hit others or stab others. We're not sure if the condition said we may stab others. But when anger is soothed, we will regret. And so Shakyamuni Buddha recommended that keeping quiet is the best way to deal with our anger. If we can be quiet, the anger can cease and anger does not become bigger or worse. And so being quiet is good for us and others. But we may think if we do not show our anger and do not state what we need to say, we will be considered as weak person. He's weak person. That's why he didn't say anything to, So then, but it's the same thing. 2,500 years ago, when Shakyamuni Buddha had lived, the people also thought the same thing. So Shakyamuni Buddha continued to preach. If you keep quiet, others will think you are a loser. You are weak. But those who can be patient are the true winners who protect everyone from worse situations. So Shakyamuni Buddha recommended people to be quiet, to protect yourself and others. So, as Shakyamuni said, those who do not say anything are considered negatively in the society, especially in the United States or in Western countries. Now, however, since we talk back or retaliate too much, we suffer a lot. Now, we have victims from attempting for revenge, like Iraqi war in the United States. They kind of after 9/11, kind of, they said retaliate back or something. Then the war occurred, and also now there are a lot of lawsuits. And then resulted the people get mental illness from the lawsuit. There are a lot of cases like that kind of things. So then also the other proverb says, "He who seeks revenge must dig 2 graves, the one for his enemy and one for himself." Then there are proverbs too. So regarding anger, as Buddhists, our attitude is try not to get angry, or try to be quiet and be patient. But if you read a book on anger management, some psychotherapists tell you that don't keep quiet. They warn that if you keep quiet, you will suffer, you will get much stressed, and you may explode someday. It might be true. So if you think showing your anger is beneficial, and you can tell others your anger in polite manner without harm to others verbally or physically, please do so. Maybe it's good to, I'm getting angry, so please correct this part, that part, this part. If you can say very politely and no harm, it's a good way. But anyway, both showing our anger and being patient in any way, both ways, gives us stress. So we get stress if we are patient. But those who get angry also get much stress. Now, according to medical research, those who do not show their anger tend to suffer the heart disease. So one article recommends people to get angry. If you want to live long, get angry. Show your anger to live longer. But other research shows that a short-tempered person have a higher risk of getting stroke. So anyway, be patient, showing anger. Anyway, die early. So we die early, and we can't live long. So that's okay, no problem. So therefore, which is better? Be patient, die early. Showing anger, die early. Maybe live long. I'm not sure. But anyway, which is better now? Getting angry or be patient? But again, Buddhism is basically not to get angry for your own and for others' benefit. But so long as we live, we are not able to remove our anger, since it is a very natural part of our life. But therefore, we need to learn to accept anger and how to handle it. Then now Jodo Shinshu's method dealing with anger. In Buddhism, there are a lot of techniques how to manage anger, such as kind of called the mindfulness meditation, or reciting the metta meditation or something, these techniques. But in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, our method is transform the energy of anger into gratitude. We still get angry, but we do not hold on to the anger and the negative feelings. We transform it. We get angry, and also we be patient. But we anger, energy or feeling, try to transform it. Transform it. Then, regarding the word of anger, what Shinshu said was, here I quote it. Shinshu said, "We are foolish beings who are filled with blind passions. Therefore, we cannot avoid getting angry." He wrote in the notes on one's calling and many callings, the foolish beings, as expressed in the parable of the 2 rivers of water and fire. But some people know that this parable, the 2 rivers of water and fire, but today I omit to explain it. Anyway, so we are full of ignorance and blind passion. Our desires are countless, and anger, wrath, jealous, and envy are overwhelming. arising without pause to the very last moment of life, they do not cease or disappear or exhaust themselves. So Mashima Shoni wanted to say, we are full of blind attachment, so we are not able to avoid getting angry. Then anger is listed as one of the 3 poisonous blind passions. Maybe you have heard that 3 poisonous blind passions. That is, it is often abbreviated as GAS, the GAS, greed, anger, and stupidity. Greed, anger, and stupidity. They are called the 3 poisonous blind passions. But stupidity is called the king of the blind passions. From stupidity, all blind attachments comes out from the stupidity. But the stupidity is not the regular meaning of stupidity. Stupidity means ignorance of the truth. Ignorance of the truth. So one explanation on the truth. But truth has a lot of aspects. The truth is kind of over our comprehension. So we are not able to describe it perfectly. Right? So truth has a lot of aspects. Then one aspect of the truth of the universe is non-self. We are non-self. In the Buddhism, we say the truth is non-self. We are non-self. So non-self means there's no substantial, everlasting self. There's no substantial, everlasting self. There's no essence of I in this self, but we cling to our self, notion of self, or we cling to this I, and we are bound by the notion of I, my, me, or mine. So that is the stupidity that Buddhism teaches. Then the next page, page 5. So I am a non-self. It means I am a part of others and others are part of me. All are interrelated. Then here's a picture of the onion. So this is often explains using the onion. So we are like onions. So there's no essence of I. Each layer of the skin is an equal part of an onion, and all layers of skin are necessary to it, but no single layer by itself defines what it is to be an onion. So called onion, there's onion. So if you peel off the one skin, there's another skin. Then peel off, but there's no both of the onion. Both of the onion, you understand? If you peel off where is the essence of the onion? So peel off onion skin, peel off onion skin, peel off onion skin, peel off. But still, there's no both of the onion. There's no essence of the onion. So, but all are the part of the onion. But there's no essence of the onion that makes the onion be an onion. So similarly, there's no essence of this I in this self. As much as we try in our names, in our background, or in the groups that we belong to, and even in our organs, even in our brains, or in our cells, we cannot find the essence of I. It's just I is temporarily existed as a phenomenon. So there's no both into myself. There's no essence of I in here. But we think that I am insulted, or I am spoken ill of, and I get angry, although there's no I that is insulted or that is spoken ill of by others. So it's like a lottery ticket. Lottery ticket. Mega Million. In the United States, we have Mega Million. Last Friday, they had a really big jackpot, $640 million. As a result, just 3 people who won the jackpot, and they divided with 1/3 each. But that last Friday, then I bought lottery tickets too. That was Thursday. On Thursday, I bought a lottery ticket. Then they picked the winning number on Friday night. So from Thursday morning to the Friday night, I was thinking, if I got the jackpot, what I should use money. Then at first I thought that maybe now BCA, Jodo Shinshu Center, they have a kind of debt for the Jodo Shinshu Center building, or some debt, maybe about $2 million, something like that. So I donated $2 million, 640 million minus 2. That's okay, 2 million, I'd give it. Then, right? Then maybe next, I have my family, 1 million each. I don't have big family, so even if I give 1 million each, less than 10 million. 640 minus 10, 12, no problem, I give it. Then, and maybe my temple, maybe for the endowment fund, I can give it. Then something, but maybe they tax, they get half of 640, but it's going to 320. But still, I have a lot of money, so no problem. Then I was thinking, but later I was thinking, my dreaming was changed to the worrying. But if I really won the lottery, that jackpot, maybe other institutions asked me to donate money. And then like schools, colleges, or hospitals, or Girl Scouts buy cookie or something like that. Maybe they called me, so it may be irritating or something like that. Or if you got the jackpot, the TV will broadcast who won the ticket. So if I was showing the TV, maybe somebody may kidnap my daughter's son or something. I was worrying about these kind of things. But I don't have $640 million. There's no money. I don't have such money. But worrying about it, that's really stupid. Yeah? Same thing. There's no I. But I insulted. I got angry. It's really stupid. That's why we are called foolish beings in Buddhism. So it's very foolish to get angry from insults to I, as there really is no I. But we humans cannot understand non-self totally. We can understand it in our head, but we are not able to understand non-self totally. So therefore, we are not able to give all the money to other people, right? If there's non-self, other people is myself. So there's no my money to give people my money, but no problem. But we can't do that. We can understand in our heads that kind of shunyata, or emptiness, or non-self. But we are not able to understand it totally. And we are bound by the notion of this I. Therefore, we are called foolish beings, and our desires are countless. And anger, wrath, jealous, and envy are overwhelming, arising without pause, as Shinran Shonin stated. So we need to know we ourselves are the problems that causes anger, and there's no way to overcome this by our own self-efforts. Hence, Amida Buddha feels pity for us and has established the vow that causes us to be born in the Pure Land. The Pure Land is a realm or the state where we are totally free from the notion of self or I. Then getting angry is not a good act. So it is an act that causes us to be born into the hell or other not good realms, in the other 6 realms of the Buddhism or India's world reincarnation idea. But since it's impossible for us to avoid getting angry, it means to accumulating the evil karma. Therefore, Amida Buddha wishes to save us. So basically, not to get angry. We should not get angry, because getting angry is a very stupid act, and that stupid act is caused by our ignorance, and that act accumulated the evil karma, and that causes us to be born into the not good realms. But therefore, Amida Buddha compassionately wants to save us and wants us to be born to Pure Land. When we think about it, we reflect on our stupidity and feel gratitude to Amida Buddha. And by this way, we turn the energy of anger into gratitude. So when we get angry, it's not good. So we kind of reflect on it. But because of our anger, Amida Buddha saves me. Therefore, this anger makes me turn into the kind of gratitude. Anger turns to the gratitude. Shinran Shonin mentioned that nevertheless, the Buddha, knowing this beforehand, they called us foolish beings possessed of blind passions, thus becoming aware that the compassionate vow of the other power is indeed for the sake of ourselves, who are such beings. We find it all the more trustworthy. So, Shinran Shonin wanted to say, if we do not have blind passions, namely, if we do not get angry, it's strange, because we are foolish beings. If our anger is gone, if our anger is removed, it's strange. You are not able to attain enlightenment. You are not able to be born to Pure Land. It's a very contradicted explanation. So Shinran Shonin wanted to say, so anger is very natural. So it's okay to get angry. So getting angry is a proof we are saved by Amida Buddha. But the anger can be transformed into gratitude to Amida, and we also can be nurturing, tolerant, and grateful person. So anger will turn into the something like gratitude. So we thank Amida Buddha. Then now here's the examples on how to transform anger into gratitude by the act of the Myokonin, by the words and deed of the Myokonin. Myokonin is a kind of devoted followers of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Maybe you heard that word. So here are some examples how to manage their anger by the devoted followers of the Jodo Shinshu. At first one is Seikuro, Yamato no Seikuro. He was a really famous person. Seikuro, he lived in the 18th century in Nara Prefecture. He was known as a very famous Myokonin. Then one of his lessons on dealing with his anger was about a thief. The Seikuro was a very poor farmer, but a thief still stole his money. He doesn't have money, but the thief stole money. It's very crucial, but that thief stole money. Then when Seikuro discovered the theft, he was glad and thanked the thief. Why? The villagers asked him why he was so glad. He was stolen money, but why you are so glad? Then he answered, I am a foolish being full of blind attachment, so I might become a thief too. But somehow I don't steal from others now. Rather, my money was stolen from others. So it's very thankful. I am not a thief right now, but I am stolen from others. I am very thankful. It's really grateful. I am not become a thief. He very glad by stealing money. Then not only this one. So as I talked about onion. So there's no I, the essence of I, but all that part of I. So in Seikuro, somehow he understands that the thief is himself too. Yeah? So it's like his money just go to the other him. So right hand to left hand, his money just goes like this. So no worry. That is somehow Seikuro understood from the Amida Buddha's salvation belief. Then next example is Genza, Sanuki no Genza. He was other famous figure that is praised as devoted follower of Jodo Shinshu. He lived in Tottori Prefecture about 90 years ago. His famous example is to thank his nose. Genza, he was also a farmer. And when he was working in his rice field, it started to rain. But he did not have an umbrella, so he got wet. But usually in these circumstances, we will complain about the weather. How come it started to rain or something like that? But Genza did not complain anything. He turns his complaint energy to the thankful mind. He turns complaint to the gratitude. Instead of the complaining about rain, about the weather, he thanked his nose. He thanked his nose being put right direction. He said, if his nose put on the opposite direction, the drops of rain come into his nose. So he did not complain about the weather, but he thanked his nose being put this way. It's really interesting. So this is a very, very good example to change anger or complaint to the gratitude. Right? Then his advice to a short-tempered person was, he once asked the advice for the person who often get angry. His advice to a short-tempered person was, because of your anger, Amida Buddha saves you. So your anger is very precious. Your anger is very treasure. So don't show your treasure to others very often. So it means don't get angry very much. But his way of saying is really interesting and funny. Then lastly, we cannot forget about Saichi Asahara Saichi-san. He lived in Shimane Prefecture about 150 years ago. He was such a grateful person that people in his village respected him very much. So the villagers wanted to have his portrait to praise Genza-san. So the villagers hired a painter and to draw Genza-san's painting. Then the villagers showed the Genza-san's, Asahara Saichi-san's portrait to the Saichi-san. Then Asahara Saichi-san saw his portrait and he said, please add devil's horns on my head. This picture is nice, but something is not good. So put the devil's horn on my head here. The devil's horn. So devil's horn, it means he is filled with the blind passions. He is a devil of the hell. So that's why he wants to put the horn onto his portrait. And also it kind of eschews the both pride and praise of the Saichi-san. Then his famous poems are, my wife's sleeping face looks like a face of a devil in hell. In my home there are two devils, my wife and myself. Shameful, shameful. So he thought his wife is a devil, but he himself is a devil. So it's very shameful. It's really interesting. And also, Saichi-san's another famous phrase is, thanks to my blind passions, thanks to my anger, Amida Buddha enables me to become a Buddha. So these are the kind of examples of the how to manage anger by the devoted followers of Jodo Shinshu called Myokoni. Then that's my conclusion. So as I said many times, basically Buddhism teaches us not to get angry. And since calm equanimity and calmness is beneficial for us and for others. But sometimes we are not able to avoid getting anger. So if you can, before you say any harsh words to others or hit others, please wait and count number 1 to 100. But if your anger does not cease, continue counting until 1,000. Then while you are counting the numbers one by one, remember that be patient is beneficial and turn your anger into gratitude, as did the devoted followers of Jodo Shinshu. Then, and even if your anger is too enormous to control, as a result you hit others or violently speak ill of them by mistake, but it's still okay. It's not okay, but it's still okay. Now, of course, you will be punished by the law and be branded as a bad person, but you are still eligible to be saved by Amida Buddha. But in fact, you will be the very object of the saving by the Amida Buddha. But however, please try as hard as possible not to get angry. So basically, not to get angry, but it cannot avoidable to get angry. So it's not okay. But therefore, Amida saves us. So that's okay. Not okay, but that's okay. This maybe a little bit confusion だけど、but this is the truth ですよ。Not okay, but that's okay. はい、Thank you very much for listening today. じゃあ合唱お願いします。ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏、ナムマンダ仏、ナムマンダ仏。